Il était l'un des hommes les plus puissants du monde industriel. Adulé au Japon, craint en France, et respecté au Liban. Mais un jour, tout s'est effondré. Voici l'histoire de Carlos Ghosn de son ascension fulgurante, à sa fuite rocambolesque. Carlos Ghosn naît au Brésil, en 1954, dans une famille libanaise. Très tôt, il montre une intelligence mathématique hors norme. Après des études d'ingénieur à Polytechnique et Centrale, il entre chez Michelin. En quelques années, il devient l'un des plus jeunes dirigeants du groupe.
Il ne dormait presque jamais. Ghosn était obsédé par la performance. Il pouvait calculer une marge bénéficiaire de tête, au centime près.
En 1996, Louis Schweitzer, PDG de Renault, l'appelle à la rescousse. Ghosn restructure, licencie, mais sauve le groupe. 3 ans plus tard, il est envoyé au Japon, chez Nissan, au bord de la faillite. Et là, commence la légende du cost killer.
There was first a fear that the next step of the lines. If you are listening to me through this video today, it means that I was not able to make the press conference that I planned for April the 11th. But I wanted to tell you the essence of the message that I wanted to develop on April the 11th and hopefully answer so many questions that I'm sure you have on your mind. The first message is I'm innocent. It's not new. You have heard it from me in January. I repeat it today. I'm innocent of all the charges that have been brought against me. And I'm also innocent of all the accusation that came around these charges that are all biased, taken out of context, twisted in a way to paint a personage of greed and a personage of dictatorship. I remain on the same position. I spent 108 days in prison because I've been always consistent with this position that I was innocent of all the charges. The second message I want to send you is the fact that I love Japan and I love Nissan. Nobody spends 20 years in a country. Nobody works 20 years in the leadership of a company without love and without attachment and without engagement, particularly when these years have been marked by so many accomplishments and so much result. I came to Japan in 1999, not by calculation. I came to Japan in 1999 because I was fascinated with the country and I was fascinated by the challenge of reviving Nissan. And you know very well that I committed since the beginning all my career to the success of the Nissan revival plan. So my love for Japan and my love for Nissan is untainted today. The third point I want to tell you that this is a conspiracy. This is about a plot. This is about conspiracies. This is about backstabbing. That's what we're talking about. And why? So you can say, why this happened? Why it happened? Because there was first a fear that the next step of the alliance in terms of convergence and in terms of moving toward a merger would in a certain way threaten some people or eventually threaten the autonomy of Nissan, which, by the way, has never been threatened for the last 19 years when the alliance was created. I've been the fiercest defender of the autonomy of Nissan, and I made it very clear that no matter what are the steps in the future, this would continue. But this autonomy must be based on performance, because the performance of Nissan is not good. It has degraded a lot. 3 profit warnings in a couple of years, many scandals, not the fact that bad things happen at the level of the company, but the fact that when you react to the bad things happening in your company, you must be trusted. And in this case, in many cases, it could not be trusted because the company said problems were fixed where they were not fixed. This is where we had a problem with the actual management of the company. So these people are known. That means we're not talking about, I have a lot of respect for Nissan employees. I'm talking here about a few executives who obviously for their own interest and for their own selfish fears are creating a lot of value destruction. Names, you know them. We're talking about people who really played a very dirty game into what's happening. But hopefully the truth will happen and the facts will happen. But at the end of the day, during all this period, I suffered not only because of my case, but who was taking care of Nissan? Who was taking care of the brand? Who was defending corporate value? Who was defending the shareholder interest? When you look at the decline of the share, when you look at the absolutely mediocre performance of the company, where people are proud to say we're not going to do this, we're not going to do that, but at the same time they don't tell you what we're going to do, what is the vision for the future, what is the vision to enhance the performance of Nissan. It's very sad, and obviously for somebody like me it's sickening. For somebody who has dedicated 19, 20 years to do the contrary, which is create the corporate value, enhance the brand, seeing the laxism and the lack of attention is really very difficult.
Il a fait ce que personne n'aurait osé, fermer 5 usines. Mais il a sauvé Nissan. Les Japonais l'ont d'abord détesté, puis idolâtré.
En 2005, il devient PDG des deux géants, Renault et Nissan. Un exploit inédit dans l'histoire industrielle mondiale. Carlos Ghosn voyageait plus qu'un ministre, parlait 4 langues, et incarnait la réussite mondiale. Mais derrière les flashs, un empire fragile se formait. Celui d'un homme qui cumulait les titres, les primes et les rancunes.
Il avait une aura de PDG monarque. Certains disaient qu'il voulait fusionner Renault et Nissan pour régner sur les 2 continents.
Au Japon, les cadres de Nissan craignaient que la fusion efface leur identité. Et dans l'ombre, un plan se préparait. Le 19 novembre 2018, à sa descente d'avion, Carlos Ghosn est arrêté à Tokyo. Les accusations, dissimulation de revenus et abus de biens sociaux. Le 19 novembre 2018, à sa descente d'avion, Carlos Ghosn est arrêté à Tokyo. Les accusations, dissimulation de revenus et abus de biens sociaux. Détenu dans une cellule minuscule, sans contact avec l'extérieur, Ghosn dénonce un complot d'entreprise, orchestré par Nissan et soutenu par la justice japonaise. Le 29 décembre 2019, dans une scène digne d'un film d'espionnage, Carlos Ghosn s'enfuit du Japon caché dans une malle destinée à du matériel de musique. Destination Bayreuth. Libre au Liban, mais poursuivi ailleurs. L'homme qui dirigeait un empire vit désormais reclus, coupé du monde industriel. Carlos Ghosn reste une énigme. Génie visionnaire pour les uns, mégalomane pour les autres. Sans lui, Renault et Nissan peinent à retrouver leur éclat. Et le monde se demande encore, qui, du PDG ou du système, est le vrai coupable.
Il symbolise une époque, celle des dirigeants tout-puissants, tombés à cause du système qu'ils avaient contribué à créer.
Carlos Ghosn a tout eu, avant de tout perdre. Pouvoir, argent, gloire. Et s'il n'avait été qu'un pion sur l'échiquier du pouvoir industriel mondial ? Dans un monde où la réussite fascine, la chute, elle, continue de fasciner davantage.